Hello everybody and welcome to O'Moore Park, Portlaoise for the Laois Junior Hurling A final between Ballypickas, last year's finalists, and of course Kyle, that are appearing in the final this year. Ballypickas are up to her left, dressed in green and yellow, and down to her right, the blue and white, the men from Kyle, hoping to capture this junior hurling title. Ballypickas, remember last year, went to 3 draws with Portlaoise and to lose it in extra time, but they're hoping to make amends for last year's defeat and capture this long-awaited junior hurling title. They're out in the field down to our left, and of course Kyle are up to our right. There's no change on the teams that lined out on your programme. In goals for Ballypickas is Paddy Wallace. Their full-back line is Frank Cahill, Ned O'Dea and Jim G. The half-back line, Brendan Keogh, John O'Dea and Anthony Carter. Centre of the field, Michael Keogh and Michael McAvoy. The half-forward line, Christy Wallace, Paddy McWee and Paul Brennan. The full-forward line, James Fitzpatrick, Martin Murphy and Tony O'Dea. Of course, the brothers. 3 sets of brothers on the team. The Kyle team, the Kyle team in goals is Mick Phelan. Their full-back lines, Jim Quinlan, Michael Rigney and Michael Quinlan. The 2 Quinlan brothers in the full-back line. The half-back line, John Phelan, Aidan Delaney and Eamon Scully. Middle of the field, Ger England and Thomas Gilfoyle. Half-forward line, Ronan Ryan, Noel Marr and Tony Fitzpatrick. The full-forward line, Dan Gilmartin, Vincent Grady and Pat Gilmartin. Those are brothers, of course, in the Kyle team. So as I said, the sun is shining brightly in Portlaoise. We had torrential rain late last night and early this morning, but I was out on the pitches in splendid condition, and referee from Castletown, Ger Gohan's out on the field, and I'd say in about 3 minutes time the 1994 Laois Junior A hurling final will commence here in Portlaoise. Not a big crowd by any means. They're all huddled into the stand, of course, expecting that it might rain before this game's over. So everybody looking forward to what should be a good Laois hurling junior final. As talked about for quite a while since Kyle and Ballypickas made their way to the final. Everybody expecting a good final. Kyle are young, very fit to tell me, and of course Ballypickas will be hoping that some of their experienced players will pull them through on this occasion. They're just moving out to the field. They're getting into I thought they were going to get into a huddle, usually what teams do before a game, but not here in Portlaoise. Ballypickas to her left, Kyle to her right. I'd say it'll be about 2 minutes before this game gets on its way. So referee Ger Gohan from the Castletown Club in Laois about to start the Laois Junior Hurling A final of 1994. He's checking his watch out there, dressed in black, and of course Kyle in blue, and Ballypickas, of course, in green and yellow. Michael Keogh and Michael McAvoy, Ger England and Thomas Gilfoyle waiting for referee to throw in the ball. It's just gone 4:30. It was time for 4:30 and the game's on its way, and Kyle are in the attack. The ball going down on the far side of the field towards the full forward, Vincent Grady. He won't get it. It's going to be well cleared by John O'Dea, the centre back. He gets it over there, gone out over the line. A line ball on the far side of the field, and the man to take it for Kyle will be Thomas Gilfoyle, the big midfielder with number 9 on his back. On the stand side of the field, the sun shining brightly here in Portlaoise, and people hopes it'll stay shining for an hour or more here on this junior final. Thomas Gilfoyle to take that. He's not. He's leaving it back to his partner, Ger England, the number 8, the midfielder. Ger on the far side, waiting for the signal from the referee. He's still standing over the ball. Placing it the second time, putting it up a little higher than it was, hoping to get this one in round the full forward, and maybe that Vincent Grady. He's a good score getter if he gets the ball in his hand. He's looking a lot of delay taking the line ball, but eventually it's been taken. A very, very good ball, dropping a very dangerous ball. It was a good cut, all right. It went away to the left and went wide. I thought it was Ger England that cut that one. He then left it. It was Eamon Scully, their number 7, that finally took the line ball, went out to the left and went wide. Goalkeeper Paddy Wallace, his first puck out of the 1994 final. It's long, it's dropping towards middle of the field. Players pulling everywhere. Conditions reasonably good. A lot of rain, I said, but Portlaoise in good condition. But still you can see the soggy sod there as the number 6, John O'Dea, grabs that ball and he sends it up towards the half-back, and that'll be Anthony Carter. Anthony sends it up towards their number 12, Paul Brennan. Brennan dropping it in round the full forward line. Backs and forwards. The corner forward coming out for the Ballypickas men. He's pucking it in, and he has pucked it over the bar. It's the number 13. He has put it over the bar. It's Tony O'D. Tony coming from the far side, moving over to this side, picking up the break, and Tony flicking it over for the opening score for Ballypickas here in the 1994 Junior Hurling Final. A point to no score in favour of the men from Ballypickas, the team that played 3 games last year and were beaten in extra time by Portlaoise in the final. They're hoping to make amends. It's gone up again to score getter James Fitzpatrick on the far side of the field. He gets it, he's half blocked down, shot well blocked down. A lot of ground hurling. It's got out by the number 2, Jim Quinlan. Jim for Kyle puts it out on the far side of the field. So it'll be a line ball for Ballypickas on the far side of the field. 1 point for Ballypickas, no score for the Kyle men yet, but it's early stages, only about 2.5 minutes gone. Very, very little breeze here in Portlaoise. The line ball on the far side of the field, the stand side of the field here from the commentary position. It's taken there by Christy Wallace, and Christy that played so well last year. The ball dropping in round the goals. The full back coming, Michael Rigney. Rigney for Kyle, and he gets it out towards the far side of the field, towards their number 9. He mightn't get it. The man picking it up will be the centre forward, Paddy McWee. Paddy for Ballypickas losing that ball, and it's going to be blocked down, but it's taken up by Ballypickas man coming again. It's their number 9. That'll be Michael McAvoy. McAvoy shot half blocked down. It'll fall out to the Kyle centre back. He mightn't get it very far. 3 Ballypickas men going. A lot of hard pulling and close play. The ball not making a lot of ground. It's going to fall back towards Christy Wallace. Christy that played so well in last year's championship. Christy gets it up on the far side of the field. Half blocked down. Kyle will come away with the referee says no, a push in the back. He says play on. Gergahan blowed in, he said play on, and the man going to get it will be Dan Gilmartin. Gilmartin out around the 30-metre line. A nice stroke in towards the full forward, well blocked down. He's going to come back out to Ned O'D. Ned, the big full back, scoops it out along the ground, hits his own man and goes back in again, but the number 4 might get it. A lot of Ballypickas players round. The man going to get it out will be Jim G. Jim getting it out toward the midfielder Michael Keogh. Keogh sends it up the centre forward Paddy McWee. McWee, a good run by Paddy McWee. He's been chased by the midfielder. Paddy stops and turns, sends a beautiful puck back to Christy Wallace. Christy sends a dummy. He sets it up for McWee in the far side of the field, getting it hard to control it, but the left hand stroke, he gets it in towards the corner forward. The corner forward like Fitzpatrick. He gets it over on the far side of the field. It's Tony O'D. Tony with the ball. His hurl being held, but he had carried the ball too far, says referee Gergahan from Castletown, and a free out to Kyle. But some good hurling by Ballypickas there, and looking not to get a score. So the free back in their own half the field, and centre back for Kyle to take it, Aidan Delaney. Delaney drives it long and drives it hard, dropping down towards the full forward Grady. He's trying to get it in, but it's gone out over the line off of a stick of a Ballypickas player, and it'll be a line ball on the far side of the field for Ronan Ryan, the number 10. Ronan to cut this one. 1 point for Ballypickas and no score yet for Kyle in the 1994 junior final. A good game so far as Ronan Ryan places this ball with great care. A right-footed cut, a dangerous ball dropping across the goal mouth towards the full forward, towards the corner forward. Stalemate, he's dropping in a chance, but a great save by the goalkeeper, Paddy Wallace. He was very alert to that. The corner forward, Dan Gilmartin, was right in on top of him, but Paddy Wallace grabbed it safely in his hand, and Paddy gets the free, says referee Gergahan. And Paddy will place this one on the edge of the small square. He bends, lifts and strikes and sends it long, very, very long towards middle of the field. Half blocked down, not making a lot of ground. Goes down to Tommy Fitzpatrick. He sends it across on the far side of the field to Pat Gilmartin, one of the Gilmartin brothers. But his way has been blocked there by Frank Cahill. Cahill getting it out somewhat, not very far, and Kyle get it in on this side of the field. Half blocked down, going to go out towards the full forward. He scoops it away out towards the midfielder. He'll send it. He shot well blocked down, but Kyle come again. Some good hurling now from Kyle. They're trying to get the opening score of their game, but the ball will fall back to Jim G, and Jim with the ball on this side of the field. Jim pucks it out. It's gone and gone out over the line. It'll be a line ball for Kyle, just down under us here, under the commentary position here. A line ball for Kyle. Of course, all blue and the white nicks. And the man cutting the ball will be their number 5, John Phelan. Not a great one from John, but he gets the rebound, but he's going to fall back to Anthony Carter. Carter lose that one. It'll go to midfield, Michael Keogh. Keogh back helping towards the centre back. John O'D was fouled there, says referee, and it'll be a free back on their own 30-metre line. Full back Ned O'D. Ned will take this one for the long serving fullback with Ballypickas. He bends and strikes. Not a great from Ned. It'll drop short. It's into the hands of the Kyle midfielder. It'll fall back towards the half forward Tony Fitzpatrick. That's a mighty puck from Tony. It's dropping to the right and wide, but it was a great stroke from the half forward. The number 12 Tony Fitzpatrick struck that one from a way out, from 70 metres out, but it just curled to the right and curled wide. The scoreboard reads 1 point for Ballypickas. Kyle have yet to score in this 94 final. A massive puck out from Paddy Wallace towards middle of the field. Hands reaching high for it. Goes to Michael McAvoy. He gets it up further towards the corner forward. He grabs that one and puts it in. And has he got the point? He has. The number 13, James Fitzpatrick, grabbing that one beautiful, picking it up and putting it over the bar for the second point. So Ballypickas getting any chances come their way. They're taking the scores, and those two great points there for Ballypickas. That one scored by the corner forward Fitzpatrick. Coming out towards the number 12 Paul Brennan. Brennan with the ball, making the run, solo run across the field, sends it across towards the midfielder Michael McAvoy. McAvoy drives it deep in towards the full forward. The full back might get it out. He has no time to rise it. He gets it out towards the corner back, and that will be Michael Quinlan. Quinlan sends it long and hard towards the 30-metre line. Ball well picked up round middle of the field, but is going to fall again to the number 12 Tony Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick hurling well. He sends this one away in, and that's a beautiful score. It's gone over. That's a good point for Kyle. So Kyle have got the opening score, and we're almost 10 minutes into this junior final. So 2 points for Ballypickas, 1 point for Kyle. I said very, very little breeze. Whatever breeze might be in it might be favouring Ballypickas. But they're in the attack again, going up on this side of the field, going very, very near the line, kept in play by the corner forward, Tony O'D. O'D gets it in towards the full forward. He mightn't get it. It's come scooped out by the cornerback, and the cornerback's Jim Quinlan, one of the brothers in the Kyle team, pulling hard. But back come Tony O'D. O'D with the ball, sending it in towards the James Fitzpatrick. James being pulled in very hard, gets his free. He got a great point a moment ago. The referee calling for the ball. It'll be a Ballypickas free. He's having a word with the Kyle man, not taking his name or anything, but just warning him any more of that. And his name will be in the referee's book. Our referee, Ger Gahan, well, he's calling for 2 players. He's deciding to throw it in, but I thought it was an obvious free there for the Ballypickas men. But Christy Wallace pulling very hard. Christy gets in his shot. It's gone out for a 65-metre puck for the Ballypickas men. 2 points for Ballypickas, 1 point for Kyle. As at the game 11 minutes old, and Christy Wallace. A lot depends on Christy's free taking in today. He played well last year, and Ballypickas of course looked to Christy as a great leader, a great free taker, and they'll be hoping that he'll put this one over the bar 65 metres out. A slight breeze, whatever breeze, probably favouring the men from Ballypickas, so this will be against a very slight breeze. Christy Wallace just down under is bending, lifting and striking. It's long, it's hard, but the direction, it's not going to go over. It had the distance, but the direction wasn't good enough from Christy Wallace's puck, and it went to the right and went wide. The score still remains in Bummoor Park, Portlaoise, 2 points to 1, a very low scoring junior final. And at this stage, there'll be very little between these sides when this game finishes. The puck out to be taken by Mick Phelan for Kyle. That's a massive puck out away towards the 45-metre line. The man grabbing it will be John O'D. He's under a lot of pressure, but he picks up the ball, a good centre back. He's still soloing his way out, tackled by 2 Kyle players, but referee says, John, you carried that too far, and this will be a free for Kyle I'd say about 50 metres or so out from the Ballypickas goals on the far side of the field. The man going to take it will be Ronan Ryan, their number 10. The man with the black helmet, a little to the left, in a scoreable position. This could be the equaliser in Portlaoise. Ryan bends, lifts, strikes. A beautiful stroke from Ryan. Yes, the umpire puts up the white flag, And the sides are level here in Portlaoise in the junior final. 2 points apiece. That was a beautiful stroke there from Ronan Ryan, the half forward, the number 10. It was about 50 metres or so out from the Ballypickas goals. He had a slight breeze behind him. Paddy Wallace with the puck out. A good puck out, dropping towards middle of the field. Hurls pulling. Still stalemate around middle of the field. The man trying to get it will be Brendan Keogh for Ballypickas. But the man grabbing it up there will be the centre forward, Noel Marr. Referee says it's a free to Ballypickas, right out on the centre of the field. A free to Ballypickas. The sides are level and 2 scores apiece, and though that's 2 points apiece. So the free, and Christy Wallace stands waiting for the referee to hand him over the ball here to take this free, and it's beyond the centre field. It's back in the Kyle half of the field, and this would be a mighty score if Christy Wallace could put it over. He's looking for someone to pass it there. Christy's bending, he's lifting and striking. It's high, all right. It'll drop about 21 metres out from the goals. Sticks rising, no one really getting it. The man going to pick it up there will be Thomas Gilfoyle. Gilfoyle won't get it as James Fitzpatrick nipping in. This shot blocked down from James Fitzpatrick, picked up by centre back Aidan Delaney. Delaney sending it towards the far side of the field, but back come Ballypickas on the far side of the field. The sun has disappeared in Portlaoise, and Ballypickas are on the attack. The man grabbing it is Michael Rigney, the full back for Kyle. Loses the ball, gets a second chance and retrieves it well and sends it on the far side of the field under pressure. Gone out over the line. A line ball on the far side of the field. A line ball, and Christy Wallace will cut this one from the far side of the field. So 2 points apiece here in Portlaoise here in O'Moore Park in the 1994 Laois Junior A Hurling final. Christy Wallace taking that's a beautiful stroke from Christy Wallace. It's gone all the way over the bar. That's a magnificent point from Christy Wallace, the number 10. Away on the far side of the field, and Christy cut it beautiful straight over the centre of the crossbar. So Ballypickas are edging ahead, but very, very close indeed. 3 points to 2 here in the junior final. A massive puck out again from the Kyle goalkeeper down towards the centre forward. But the man getting it will be Brendan Keogh. He gets it up on the far side of the field towards James Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick cutting it in. The Kyle half-back might get it. Christy Wallace is in there also. He scoops it up along the ground, but Kyle are trying to get it out. Christy Wallace once again on the far side of the field towards centre forward Paddy McWee. McWee turning his man well, running into a Kyle defender, sending it in towards the midfielder. The midfielder McAvoy, he drives it into the corner of it's gone. I thought it was in the back of the net. It's gone very near the line, gone out for a 65, but that might have been a goal. It was blocked by the corner forward, went back in. Fitzpatrick was nipping in, but the ball just rolled across the goals, out for a 65, and Christy Wallace anviling over here to take this 65 for Ballypickas again. This is little to the left of the goals and the right. Christy, the linesman out, telling Christy the spot to put this ball. He's having a word with the linesman. What he's saying to Christy, I just don't know. But Christy steals a foot inside the 65-metre line. He cut a marvellous point just a moment ago. This 65, it's on its way. It's curling to the left and curling wide. Christy not too happy. He bends the stick after taking that one, and maybe wondering was the stick to blame for that 65. But that's gone to the left. 2 chances for Christy for 65s. He's not on target with him, but the line ball, surely a marvellous score from a line ball here in Portlaoise. The ball towards middle of the field, and Kyle are in the attack. The midfielder, Thomas Gilfoyle, the big man at middle of the field. That's a lovely stroke from Thomas, but it's gone to the right and gone wide. If Christy Wallace put him to the left and the other end, Thomas Gilfoyle putting him to the right, down to our right. The score still remains 3-2. 2 very evenly matched teams, and we have 16 minutes gone here in the first half in O'Moore Park. Paddy Wallace, a man with the yellow top, the green tracksuit, driving it out towards middle of the field. The ball blocked down and well taken. It's gone up on the far side of the field to Michael McAvoy. McAvoy, the midfielder, in towards the corner forward, and that's James Fitzpatrick. There's surely a goal for Ballypickas. It's in the back of the net. Corner forward James Fitzpatrick, causing a lot of trouble to the Kyle defence. Nipping in for that wonder goal, but once he got it, you could write a goal all over. He was being pulled back, but he got inside the corner back. The corner forward put it in the back of the net to make it a golden 3-2. Is Ballypickas going to win the 1994 final? They looked like it last year in two of the games against Portlaoise and then they lost in extra time. They're playing well in this final. This is a final they'd love to win. A lot of their players been round for quite a while, but this is a free out. Centre back been fouled, John O'Dea, and this will be a free out. A goal and 3 points, that's 6 points to 2. Very, very little in a hurling game. Full back Ned O'Dea. Ned drives this one long, very, very long, dropping 30 metres out from the goals. Kyle centre back, that's Aidan Delaney. Aidan steering it down towards this side of the field. Half block down, midfielder trying to get it. He gets it back towards the half back, and that's John Phelan. Phelan shot half block down. He might get another chance. Ballypickas are trying to get it in. Their number 12 there is Paul Brennan. He might get it in on the far side of the field. He gets it across, but no one waiting for it to be a run for the corner back, and he'll get it. That's Jim Quinlan. Jim gets it out. A very poor clearance from Jim. It's gone out over the line for a line ball on this side of the field. 6 points to 2, 1-3. That makes 6 to 2 for Kyle. That goal could be the difference at the end of this junior hurling final. Christy Wallace out to take the line ball. He cut one about 5 minutes ago from the far side. Much the same angle, and this is on this side of the field. Just down under is the number 10, the experienced half forward for Ballypickas, looking towards the goals. This would be a massive point if Christy could cut this one over the bar. 1 goal and 3 to 2 and Christy Wallace. A lovely stroke from Christy, but it won't go over the bar. It'll drop down around the full forward line. The corner forward has it. It's gone over the bar. James Fitzpatrick causing all sorts of problems for Kyle. I wonder will Kyle soon make a switch, because James Fitzpatrick causing all kinds of problems. The number 13 on the far side of the field got a goal a few minutes ago, got a point early on, and I see a switch already. A switch, the two cornerbacks are switching, but James Fitzpatrick has a goal and 2 points to his credit already. And the ball on the far side of the field. Kyle putting on the pressure. The man getting it will be Tony Fitzpatrick. The ball's gone very near the line, gone out over the line. It'll be a Kyle ball on the far side of the field, says the linesman. He throws down his flag, but yes, it's a Kyle ball on the far side of the field. The man to take it will be Ger England, the midfielder. Or the linesman has decided it's a Ballypickas ball. The signal now has gone to Ballypickas. Well, he obviously had given the line ball to Kyle, and then he has changed his decision, but it'll be a Ballypickas ball on the far side of the field, on the stand side. 1 goal and 4. That's 7 to 2. And that's a good line ball from Michael McAvoy. Dropping up on the far side of the field. In again for Fitzpatrick. He mightn't get this one. It's going in behind the backs. It's going to be cleared out by the midfielder, and that's Thomas Gilfoyle. Gilfoyle is brought to the ground, a free for Kyle. Kyle need a score now. We have about 20 minutes, a little with 20 minutes, very, very little stoppage time. A very sporting and hard-fought final here in centre back Aidan Delaney. That's a massive kick from puck from Delaney, dropping down, but Ballypickas cleared well. It comes on this side of the field to Paul Brennan. Brennan for Ballypickas up to Christy Wallace. Christy sends the dummy. He's on his way towards goals on the far side of the field. A stylish hurler, Christy Wallace. He has time, but he shot half blocked down. The man going to pick it up will be Aidan Delaney. Delaney pucks it long, pucks it well towards the far side of the field. Pulled on well, going towards this side of the field. Kyle are in the attack. Just down under is now the corner forward with the ball, and that's Dan Gilmartin. Gilmartin slips his man, gets inside, doesn't get it up. Pucks along the ground, going to be half cleared out by the corner back for Ballypickas towards Paul Brennan. He mightn't get it. Kyle have a chance in front of the goal, 30 metres out, dropping in towards the 14-metre line. Well steered out by the corner back, Frank Cahill. Cahill gets it out, gets a second chance, gets it up towards the half back, Brendan Keogh. Keogh solering his way out, being tackled and hooshed away, loses the ball. Two Kyle players for the ball, but Frank pulling hard. The referee Jerry Gahan going in. What way he'll give this decision? Will it be a Kyle ball? He's having a word with one of the Ballypickas players. It'll be a Kyle free when play resumes on the far side of the field. A free for Kyle. It's a great bout of hurling in the last minute from both clubs. So this will be a free on the far side of the field, and the man going to take it will be Ronan Ryan. Ronan Ryan to take the free for Kyle. He bends, strikes, not a good one. It's dipping in, but it's gone over. It just barely made its way over the crossbar. The white flag goes up, so Kyle reduced the arrears. 1 goal and 4 to 3 points. That's 7 to 3. Very, very little in a hurling game. We have about 23 minutes gone here in O'Moore Park, Portlaoise, in the Laois Junior Hurling A final. Paddy Wallace standing back and Paddy pucking it long, dropping out towards middle of the field, pulled on well by Michael McAvoy. He gets it up on this side of the field. Kyle might come away with this, but the man getting it there is Tony O'Dea. O'Dea steering across to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick not getting, the man getting it will be Jim Quinlan. Jim that has moved over from right corner back over to Mark James Fitzpatrick. This has done a lot of damage in the early stages of this game. The ball well cleared out there by Jim, but it'll fall into the hands of Ger England, and Ger steering it down well. Half blocked down and well taken out there by the corner back Frank Cahill. Cahill shot towards this side of the field, going, it's gone. It was Jim G that got the final touch to that, gone out over the line. A line ball for Ballypickas, just down under us, or for Kyle rather, just down under us. The man to take it will be their number 5, that's Brendan Keogh, and Brendan cuts that one, a beautiful cut, dropping 14 metres out, half blocked down. Kyle will come, Ballypickas will come away. Kyle trying to get it in, but Ballypickas come away well, and towards midfielder Michael Keogh. That's a great puck from Michael Keogh up towards the corner forward. He's getting it hard to control it. Tony O'Dea. Tony has the ball, being harassed, gets a second chance. A lovely bit of work by Tony, but his shot blocked down is going to be cleared out to Ger England. England for Kyle. A massive puck down towards the full forward. He gets his stick to it, but it's going to go very near the line. Is it kept in play? Kyle have it. The number 15 with the ball. He takes a shot and it's gone to the right and wide. That was Pat Gilmartin, a brother of Dan that's on the other side. Pat struck it well, low and hard, but it got off the woodwork and out to the right and wide. The score still remains in O'Moore Park, Portlaoise. A golden forward, that's 7 for Ballypickas, 3 points for Kyle. I said very, very little between them. A puck of a ball, a goal for Kyle will put them right back into game, but a long way, it's long way from over yet. The ball towards the far side of the field, and Christy Wallace. It falls away from Christy towards Thomas Gilfoyle. That great run from the midfielder. Beautiful stick work by Tommy Gilfoyle. Thomas driving it in, driving it to the left and putting it wide, but a fine hurler Thomas Gilfoyle putting that one in. Of course, Gilfoyle, a great Clare name, but Tom's the Kyle midfielder today. Thomas Gilfoyle putting that one to the left. Kyle had a few good scoring chances. This will drop towards the middle of the field. Sticks reaching up. Tom Gilfoyle once again dropping it down towards the half forward. He'll puck it in and he'll put it to the right and put it wide. 2 great chances for Kyle that should have been pints. So golden forward at 7-3 here, and we have exactly 25 minutes gone here in the first half of the junior final. The ball dropping towards this side of the field, hands and sticks reaching. It drops over the heads of midfielders. Ger England's back to pick it up. He sends it across on the far side of the field, but the Ballypickas man's there. That's number 8, Michael Keogh. Michael sending it across for Christy Wallace and James Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick might get it. It's gone out over the line off the stick there of Jim Quinlan for a line ball on the far side of the field for Ballypickas. Christy Wallace and James Fitzpatrick, 2 very dangerous forwards. James, of course, after having a great opening 10 minutes, scoring a goal and 2 points. And now Christy Wallace, that's got 1 great point to cut this one. This one's about 50 metres out from the Kyle goals, and Christy taking a good run, a good look at the goals, and that's a massive stroke in, dropping on the 14-metre line. Backs and forward reaching for, but Jim Quinlan steering it out somewhat, but it's not out of danger yet. Might be now. Kyle coming again. Missed. A missed shot there by the Kyle half forward, but he gets it down on this side of the field, but the man grabbing it is John O'Dea, and John steering it up towards this side of the field, and Ballypickas in the attack again towards the midfielder McAvoy. Michael shot half block down to Ger England, out to the other midfielder, and that'll be Thomas Gilfoyle. A good shot from Gilfoyle up towards this side of the field. Kyle, a push in the back there on the Kyle corner forward. That was Dan Gilmartin getting the push, getting the free. And this one's about 50 metres, a little bit 50 metres out from the Ballypickas goals. So the score still remains a golden forward at 7 points to 3 points for Kyle. And Ronan Ryan, the man with the black helmet, to take this one. Standing over the ball, looking towards the goals. The slight breeze behind him. He lifts it well. He strikes it in. This won't go over the bar. It'll drop about 14 metres out. Kyle are looking for the goal before half-time, but not says the Ballypickas backs. They steer it out to this side of the field. The man getting it is Paul Brennan. A lovely touch to Christy Wallace. Christy grabbing it beautiful, and another lovely pass across on the far side of the field towards the midfielder Michael Keogh. Keogh back to Christy Wallace. Some lovely hurling from Ballypickas. Christy being dragged around by the neck by the midfielder. midfielder, Thomas Gilfoyle, and not happy with that. Thomas thought he didn't foul him, but Christy Wallace very happy with the free. And Christy now, this is exactly about a foot inside the midfield mark, and Christy Wallace, the wide stance, the look towards the goals, bending, lifting and striking. It's long, it's dropping, a very dangerous ball, and it just dropped to the left and wide. It might have went anywhere. It just dropped to the left and wide. Christy Wallace, Christy won't be happy with his free taking today. A few 65s that maybe should have went over. Christy usually very accurate with 65s and frees from long distance, just not working out today. Mick Phelan pucking out for the Kyle men towards the far side of the field. Christy Wallace again, a man that's in the game a lot. Christy turning, looking for James Fitzpatrick, and he finds James. He's running ahead of the corner back. Fitzpatrick with the ball, a beautiful hurler. Fitzpatrick strokes it in from the left-handed, half blocked down and going to be cleared out, but it's going to fall into the hands of the Ballypickas player. It's dropping out, and it's gone out and gone wide. It might have been a point that went to the right and went wide, so the score still remains. We're about 2 minutes away from the half-time whistle here in O'Moore Park, Portlaoise. So the puck out will be taken by Mick Phelan. Mick will puck it out for the Kyle men. Mick in white, blue togs, white top, pucking it out. That's a good puck out. His against what slight breeze, and it's half blocked down around middle of the field. The man grabbing it up there is the number 12, Tony Fitzpatrick. Tony sends it to the midfielder, Thomas Gilfoyle. Has he got this one? He hasn't, and Thomas puts his hands over his head, and he has put another bad wide for Kyle. A lot of bad shooting by the Kyle midfielders. They're getting some great chances, but that one went out to the right and went wide. So the referee is telling Paddy Wallace not to puck out the ball. There's a Ballypickas player in a bit of trouble. Mentor's gone in there to have a look at one of the Ballypickas players, is like their midfielder from here. He's been referee having a look at him also, so the score still remains 1 goal and 4. That's 7-3, but Kyle have missed a lot of good scoring chances here in the first half, and we're not too far away. The 30 minutes is just ticked away. But I'd say referee Jerry Gahan will probably play about a minute. We have a stop. This is the first real stoppage we had. It was the centre back, actually, John O'Dea. John O'Dea that was injured there, but he seems to be okay. We're gone over the 30 minutes, what the referee will play now in this first half. Very, very little stoppage time. The ball towards the far side of the field. 1 goal and 4 to 3 points, and Kyle are in the attack. Is there a goal on for Kyle just before half time? What a goal to do for the Kyle men. The corner forward trying to get it his way, half blocked down. Good defending by the Kyle half back or by the Ballypickas half back line. A good ball on this side of the field. Nice touch out towards Brennan. Brennan up towards the corner forward. He slips. The ground conditions not too good maybe for rising the ball, but that's out towards the midfielder again, Thomas Gilfoyle, and Thomas drives it long and hard towards Tony Fitzpatrick. He gets it in towards the corner forward. He's been tackled, he's been hooshed, he's been harassed, he's gone to the ground, and he'll get the free. It's Pat Gilmartin being fouled, and Pat gets the free now for Kyle. Can Kyle get a point before half time? Because I'd say this will be the last puck of the game now. The half time whistle to sound any moment here now, and the ball's gone high, and it's gone over the bar by Ronan Ryan. So that's a valuable score for Kyle as we gone over 31 minutes into the first half. Almost 31, a little bit 31 minutes, 20 seconds gone here in the first half. So I'd say this possibly be the last puck out of the first half. Wallace pucking it long towards middle of the field. The half-time whistle not sounding yet, but I said we had very little stoppage time. Ballypickas are in the attack now, and this just down under is the man going to get it will be Michael Keogh. His shot being well blocked down. He gets a second chance. It'll fall in towards the Kyle midfielder, and that's Thomas Gilfoyle. Gilfoyle hurling well for Kyle, going very, very near the line, kept in play by Ballypickas, but Gilfoyle again, a nice hurler, Thomas Gilfoyle. That's a good run from Thomas Gilfoyle. He loses the ball, he gets a second chance. He looks towards the goal, steers it in, it's going. It's going to go out and go wide. Going to go out and go wide. The referee signalling that is wide, so I doubt it would have much more playing time here in the first half. The referee checking his watch again. Paddy Wallace looking towards the referee. The referee, this will drop. I'd say it's half time here in Portlaoise. Ball dropping down. The Kyle half back with the ball. That's Eamon Scully. Shot been blocked down, going up on this side of the field. And Ballypickas have their score on just before half time. We're well into it on time as the full forward with the ball. Martin Murphy. Murphy falls to the ground, doesn't get it free. Referee says play on. Ballypickas corner forward with the ball. A chance of a score on here, but the goalkeeper gets it. He's under pressure from James Fitzpatrick. He's pushed out for a 65. Well, he was under pressure from the time he saved it from James Fitzpatrick. So we're well into it on time. On my watch, we have 33 minutes gone here in the first half of this Laois Junior Hurling final. So the 65, and what a score this would be for Ballypickas if Christy Wallace could put this one over. It's a golden 4 to 4 points. A golden 4 to 4 points. And Christy Wallace, almost dead straight in front of the goals, cut a marvellous point in the early minutes of the game here. He strikes this one. It's high, it's long, it's not going to dropping down. Dangerous ball, but Kyle come away with it, but not too far. But the referee has called for half time. The man with the ball in his hand was Michael McAvoy, 21 metres out. But referee Ger Gahan says that's it, the first half is over. But Ger played a lot of time. On our watch, 33 and a half minutes gone in the first half. Very little stoppage time, but that's the referee's decision himself. The scoreboard reads to a right, a golden 4 to 4 points. The sun has disappeared in O'Moore Park. A very entertaining Laois Junior Hurling final. Good bout of hurling from both sides. Ballypickas taking their scores when they come, and of course it was that goal from corner forward James Fitzpatrick was the real turning point of the game, and that's the goal, that's the difference here at half time, and could be the goal, it could be the difference between the sides at full time. So another 30 minutes to go here in this junior hurling final. At the moment Ballypickas, last year's finalists, are leading a golden 4 points, and Kyle are 4 points, missing a lot of chances, but a long way to go in the hurling game yet. So stay with us, we'll be back with the second half of the junior final in about 5 minutes time. So welcome back here to O'Moore Park for the second half of the Laois Junior Hurling A final. Both teams are on the field. Referee Jerry Gahan just about to commence the second half. A golden 4 to 4 points, very little between them here at the half time break, and the referee gets the second half on its way, and Ballypickas are in the attack, but the man going to take it up will be Aidan Delaney. Aidan sends it out towards the number 5 John Phelan, very near the line. Is it gone out over the line? It is, but it looks, yes, it's a Ballypickas ball on the far side of the field. So both sides 30 minutes away here from the final whistle. The ball dropping down. Ballypickas looks the better team at the moment to finish well just before half time. So that shot dropping in, half blocked down, but it'll be taken up by the half forward. He's turning, his shot being well blocked down, and the goalkeeper comes to that one. That'll be Michael Phelan. Phelan gets it out towards the half back. His shot half blocked down, but gets a second chance. It looks like Thomas Gilfoyle. Gilfoyle, the midfielder, having a great first half for Kyle. Drives that one deep into the centre. The ball dropping down, no one rightly getting to it. Stalemate on the far side of the field. The man trying to get it will be Pat Gilmartin. He gets it in, but is well cleared out, but it'll fall back into the hands of the Kyle centre back, Aidan Delaney. That's a massive puck from Delaney. He sends it on the far side of the field towards Dan Gilmartin. Gilmartin mightn't get it. He does. It's gone out over the line off of the Ballypickas corner back, so it'll be a line ball for Dan Gilmartin, but Dan won't take it. He'll leave it to Ronan Ryan. Ronan will cut this one almost in the same position where Christy Wallace cut over a point for Ballypickas in the first half, and Ronan cuts this one in. A lovely stroke right across, just to the left and just wide. A ball that might have even ended up in the back of the net, but it's gone out the first wide of the second half. Ballypickas have made one change in the second half. I see Pat O'Neill, number 19, is in the game for Ballypickas down on the far side of the field. The man gone off is Tony O'Dea. The man with the ball is Christy Wallace. Driving it in deep, and Pat O'Neill's in under, but the Kyle keeper reaches up his hand, and he comes out to this side of the field, but it's not a good clearance. It might get to the centre back. It will to Aidan Delaney. He's hurling his heart out for Kyle. Sends it up towards the corner forward, towards the full forward, Vincent Grady. We didn't see a lot of Vincent in the first half. He loses that ball, but it'll fall towards the midfielder, back to Tony Gilfoyle. Gilfoyle, as I said, hurling his heart out along with the centre back, up towards the corner forward, not getting it up. The full back for Ballypickas trying to steer it out towards this side of the field. He mightn't, but he's giving away the free. The referee says a free. He deemed that Ned O'D fouled Pat Gilmartin there, and this will be a free in for Ronan Ryan. But it's on the 14-metre line, a very acute angle, but he's a good free taker, Ronan. He'll take this one. It's just down to our left here from the commentary box. So the number 10, the man with the black helmet looking towards the goals, if he puts it over, there'll be only 2 points between the sides. Referee checking with backs and forwards. The free, he's still telling the forwards to come out of the square, so there's no one left in there but the 2 cornerbacks and the goalkeeper. So Ronan waiting for referee Ger Gahan from Castletown to give the signal for the free to be taken. It's outside the 21-metre line, and Ronan strikes it in, but this is going to go to the right and go wide. That's a bad miss for Kyle in the early stages. They missed a lot of good scoring chances in the first half, but they could be costly misses against this game's over. So the puck out from Paddy Wallace. Paddy will give this all the might and strength that Paddy can puck this one. That's a massive puck out towards the far side of the field. Hurley's reaching high, no one connecting. Thomas Gilfoyle might get it for Kyle. I said a man that's in the game a lot. His pass not great. It falls back towards the midfielder to Michael Keogh, and Keogh steers it down on this side of the field. There could be a score on for Ballypickas. The man with the ball is the full forward. He loses. He sends it towards the centre forward. He's been blocked and hooshed away by the full back. He might steer it in. Very untidy play down on the far side of the field. The centre forward trying to get it, but he's gone out for a 65. A 65-metre stroke there for Ballypickas and Christy Wallace. Could this be Christy's first score from a 65-metre puck, or is he going to take it? Yes, Christy's trotting out on the far side of the field. It's away to the left, but a scoreable position for a man like Christy Wallace. This could be his first score from a 65. He missed a few in the first half. Christy would love to put this one over. A very valuable point it would be. He just places it on the 65-metre line. He's looking towards the goals. Very little wind, and that's a massive puck from Christy Wallace. It's dipping in, but it's into the hands of the goalkeeper. He lets it slip, but he retrieves it well. Good goalkeeping by Michael Phelan. It might have went anywhere. Michael, under a lot of pressure, gets it out, so that was very close. It might have been a point by Christy Wallace, but this will surely be one from Christy. He looks towards the goals. He strikes it in, but it's not to be Christy's evening. That one yet again goes to the right and wide. Christy Wallace wondering how that one went. He got a chance on the 65. It was cleared out, fell into the hands of Christy again, but that one went to the right and went wide. The score still remains a golden 4 to 4 points. Mick Phelan dropping it out. Ballypickas winning a lot of ball around middle of the field. The ball scooped in along the ground, coming towards this side of the field. The number 7 for, that's Eamon Scully. Scully trying to get it up, making very hard work at getting it up, doesn't get it up. Ballypickas centre forward steering in, but the man going to get it will be the corner back. He can't get it up, but it falls into the hands of the Ballypickas centre forward, up to the full forward. It'll fall back towards Fitzpatrick. He makes no mistake and putting it over the bar. James Fitzpatrick, but that was very untidy play from the Kyle fullbacks. They had several chances of clearing the ball. It fell then to the centre forward, Paddy McWee. Paddy got it over to Martin Murphy. Murphy saw Fitzpatrick running in. Give Fitzpatrick half a chance. It's a golden 3, I think, for him today. A golden 5 altogether for Ballypickas to 4 points. That's 8 points, 1-5, that's 8 to 4. 4 points between the sides, and Ballypickas now really in the driving seat at the moment, and Christy Wallace to cut this one. Almost in centre of the field. Christy cutting it, a beautiful stroke from Christy, out to the right, dropping in towards the corner forward. He might pick it up, it's Fitzpatrick once again. He nips it in along the ground towards the centre forward, Paddy McWee. McWee striking it in well. Hands reaching for it. Gone across to Fitzpatrick again on his own for a moment. He doesn't look, he strikes it in, but this will hop to the right and hop wide. Hop to the right and hop wide. 1 goal and 5 to 4 points. But I said very untidy play in the Kyle back line. The ball dropping towards middle of the field. The man trying to get it up is Tommy Gilfoyle. He's been tripped. Referees Has the referee blown? He hasn't, but Kyler in the attack, Ronan Ryan. A good run from Ryan. Being tackled, being harassed. And Thomas Gilfoyle still on the ground, in a lot of trouble on the far side of the field. I thought he might have got a free there, but the referee didn't blow. And the free was taken in quickly, and Kyler in the attack. And Ryan on the far side of the field. Very, very near the line. Scoops it into the corner. It's gone in. Is it in the back of the net? It's not. Paddy Wallace. A wonderful save by Paddy Wallace. How he got to that one. That's a wonder save by Paddy Wallace. It might have been a goal. Kyle piling on the pressure. A Ballypickas player lying injured on the far side of the field. But Ger Gahan says play on. And the ball's gone out to the right and wide from Tony Fitzpatrick. So Thomas Gilfoyle in a lot of trouble. He's limping round. The Ballypickas player also being called for attention. But play wasn't held up. But as I said, Thomas Gilfoyle seemed that he might have got a free. Ger Gahan says play on. Then the free was awarded up the field further. But Kyle yet again missed another scoring chance. So one of the Kyle or the Ballypickas player in a lot of trouble on the far side of the field. So Ger Gahan, the referee, and having a look at him also. And I see one of the Kyle players. Well, I thought he was going in to have a look at the Ballypickas player. He was going in to get a drink out of the magic bottle. So 1 goal and 5. That's 8 points. That's 8 points to 4. Double scores here in O'Moore Park, Portlaoise. And at this moment, Ballypickas looks good for the 1994 hurling final. Remember last year's saga, they were beaten in the third replay of extra time by Portlaoise. Some great games that was played up in Colt. So they're hoping to make amends for last year's defeat and bring back the junior title to Ballypickas. A great traditional hurling area up there. Also, Kyle likewise, not too far from the Tipperary border. Some great hurlers coming from that part of the country also. And they'd love to bring the junior title back up there to the Tipperary border also. But at the moment, they have missed a lot of valuable scoring chances here in Portlaoise. And so you can't win a final missing chances like that. Ballypickas taking the chances when they come their way, especially James Fitzpatrick. And surely, if Ballypickas capture this title, James will be the toast of Ballypickas and will be, I'd say, get man of the match here in Portlaoise this evening, because he picked off some beautiful scores. 1 goal and 3 scored already. A beautiful goal early in the first half and some splendid point taking. And he got, of course, that point in the second half. Still players being attended to there on the far side of the field. A lot of stoppage time now in the second half. I see there is a Frank Cahill being attended, the corner back. He looks to have knee trouble there on the far side of the field also. He's been attended and the referee still in there. The goalkeeper, Paddy Wallace, that brought off a great save a few moments ago, he's out there also. So a lot of stoppage time here now in the O'Moore Park here in the junior final in the second half. A very sporting and hard-fought final. Referee now noting the time, the stoppage time, and the goalkeeper runs back in the corner back. Jim G going back on the far side. I thought it was Frank Cahill. It was Jim G, the corner back, that will receive attention also. So this will be the puck out. The puck out will be taken by Paddy Wallace. Long and hard, dropping just beyond midfield. Hurls and hands reaching for no one getting the ball. Christy Wallace might get it. He's been hoosed away, but Christy picks it up. Among a cluster of players, still Christy Wallace. Kicks it, no room to swing his stick. Kicks the ball. We haven't seen any much play gone in towards Pat O'Neill. Pat's a great score getter if the ball goes in round him, but this will fall to Christy Wallace. A lovely dummy to Christy back towards the centre forward. Paddy McWeave. Paddy leaves it out to the midfielder, Michael Keogh. Michael has put it in, it's blocked down, a dangerous ball, but it's steered out on this side of the field. A chance for Fitzpatrick. He's on the ground. Kyle might come away. It'll be a free. James Fitzpatrick nipped in there. He slipped to the ground as he went for that one, but there was a foul on one of the Kyle backs, so it'll be a free out, and goalkeeper Mick Phelan will puck this one. A goal and 5-4. What a goal to do for Kyle if they got it at this stage, to be only a score between them. But they never looked like getting in past the Ballypickas backs. That's a good puck. Dropping down. Hands reaching, Hurley's reaching, gone off of a Kyle player stick out over the line ball just down under it. A goal and 5-4. A low scoring Laois junior final. The man to take it for Ballypickas will be Brendan Keogh, the number 5. The man with the yellow helmet that cut this ball just down to our left. Not a long one by any means. It'll fall to England for the midfielder for Kyle. He sets it up to Gilfoyle that was injured. That's Thomas. Having a good game here for Kyle. Doing a lot of work around middle of the field. Ronan Ryan's out there also. That's a massive puck from Ryan from the centre of the field, but it's gone to the left and wide. But a massive stroke from Ronan Ryan from middle of the field. It went away to the left and went wide, but there'd been a massive point if he had to score it. Paddy Wallace pucking it out towards this side of the field. The ball dropping down, and Christy Wallace is there again. A lovely flick from Christy Wallace in towards the centre forward. Paddy McWee, he shot being half blocked. Paddy might get a second chance. The man trying to get it on the far side of the field, Eamon Scully. Scully steering it out. Stalemate round mid of the field. Gilfoyle steering it out. Come towards this side of the field. A lot of Ballypickas players round. The ball hooshed away from them. Kyle needed a score and needed badly to get back right into this game, but back come the Ballypickas men. The man with the ball on the far side of the field with the number 8, Michael Keogh. He loses the ball. Two Kyle players. A lot of hard pulling now. Kyle trying to come back into the game. Failing, pulling along the ground. That was Paul Brennan out to Fitzpatrick. Stalemate in this side of the field. That's a lovely cut in there by Christy Wallace. Christy was in, but it went to the right and wide. But James Fitzpatrick, the danger man, Kyle, really watching him in the second half. But James, a lot of damage done in the first half with that goal and 2 points, and then his point in the second half. A very, very crafty corner forward. Mick Phelan driving it out towards the middle of the field, hands reaching high, and the man there is Thomas Gilfoyle. Gilfoyle in towards the full forward. Not seeing a lot of the full forward for Kyle. That's Vincent Grady. He might get this one. If not, he's going across towards the centre forward, towards the number 12. He mightn't get it. He comes out towards Christy Wallace. Christy making no mistake. A stylish hurler, Christy Wallace, with the ball. That's the simple touchdown, but this time it doesn't work out right. The man getting his centre back, Aidan Delaney. Delaney dipping it high, long towards the far side of the field. Too long for corner forward Dan Gilmartin, and it's gone out over the line, and a line ball on the far side of the field. A line ball, and Jim G to take this one on the far side of the field for the Ballypickas men. He's not, he's leaving it back towards Brendan or Anthony Carter. Anthony to cut this one. The cut from Carter very, very near the line, but still kept in play, and Ballypickas come away with it, but well blocked down. Well, good defending there by Kyle, but the referee calling what happened, I can't say. He's calling a player. Is it a Kyle player? It is a Kyle player. He's calling, having a word with one of the Kyle players. It's the number 12. It's Tony Fitzpatrick, but what happened, it was away on the far side of the field. He's having a word with Tony. He's still, yes, he's thrown in the ball between two players, Paul Brennan and Ronan Ryan. It goes to Brennan. Brennan with the ball. Comes away with it, playing well for the Ballypickas men. Down to Fitzpatrick. He mightn't get it, but he'll get it out towards the centre forward. The centre forward now is Paddy McWee. McWee, but he loses the ball, and it comes on the far side of the field. Kyle now in the attack. A long way to go in this game yet. Can Kyle get in for a goal? Not says midfielder Michael Keogh. He gets it very near the line, kept near the line, but Michael has gone out over the line. A line ball for Kyle on the far side of the field. A golden 5-4, 4 points between them in this junior final. We have 15 minutes exactly gone, but we had a lot of stoppage time, maybe 2 minutes or more stoppage time here in the second half. So the line ball on the far side of the field, and again it's Ronan Ryan, the number 10, to take it away on the stand side of the field. That's a lovely stroke from Ronan, dropping in, but two Ballypickas players blocking it down. Not out of danger yet. Trying to be taken up there by the half forward. Ballypickas Rue would kick it out. Do anything to get it out, and they get it out of danger. Dropping down for Christy Wallace. Can Christy get it? But Christy has pulled too quick, says referee Ger Gohan. It'll be a free to Kyle. Ger going down having a word. It'll be a free to Kyle. A free back in their own 65-metre line, and centre back Aidan Delaney will take it for the Kyle men. They haven't scored in the second half. A low one towards Ryan on the far side of the field. Hard pulling by Ronan Ryan, but the Kyle men come away with it again, and our Ballypickas come away with it. A shot, not making a lot of ground. Dropping down. Kicked away by the Kyle men towards the centre back Aidan Delaney. Delaney up on the far side of the field, but Ballypickas defending well. Anthony Carter, a lovely touch by Carter on the far side of the field. The centre back for Kyle. That's Aidan Delaney pulling well, pulling it hard across on the far side of the field, gone out, and it'll be a line ball on the far side of the field for Ballypickas. Anthony Carter to cut this one. Anthony Carter on the stand side of the field. Is Kyle making a substitute? I see Mentors running in, or is there a player injured? It's not. There might be a switch on the Kyle team. Ballypickas now in complete control, but only got one score in the second half. They have a lot to play. Kyle haven't scored yet in the second half. Kyle haven't scored in the second half, and Christy Wallace over to take the line ball. So the line ball on the far side of the field. That's cut low and hard, dropping in. Not one ball went in around Pat O'Neill's territory yet. Pat's a great man to score a goal if it's anywhere near the goal, but nothing has came Pat's way. He came on last year in the games against Portlaoise, and Pat scored goals and points on all occasions. Nothing coming Pat's way. Not one ball went over to that side of the field yet. So Kyle, as I said, we have almost 18 minutes of play gone in the second half. The puck out now to be taken by Mick Phelan. I see Kyle making a substitute. I'll tell you about it in a moment. Kyle making a substitute, but we'll continue with play. But Ballypickas are still in the lead in this junior final. Who's going to come on to the Kyle team? They have two players warming up just down under us. None of them have gone in yet. Number 20 and number 16. But Ballypickas, that shot's well blocked down, but it'll fall back towards the Ballypickas midfielder. He gets it back towards the half forward. Very, very little scoring in the second half, but referee Jerry Gahan says you held on too long and that'll be a free. Two subs warming up. We'll tell you about it in a moment for Kyle. Two subs warming up here for Kyle. Just down unders. They haven't made any switches yet, but Kyle are going to bring in two subs when they do make a substitute here just down unders. So that's a massive puck from Aidan Delaney. Dropping down. Very there. Chance of a score. Is there a goal on for Kyle? The ball dropping down. Got out of danger. Almost in the back of the net. Good defending. Coming out towards middle of the field. And towards Christy Wallace, but Christy won't get that one, and Kyle come away with it again. It's the number 6, Aidan Delaney, hurling well for the Kyle men, but that's going to go away to the left and go wide. A lot of bad shooting from Kyle, both in the first and in the second half. So the referee having a word with Christy Wallace. Christy said something to the referee. We've about 20 minutes, but a lot of stoppage time to be played in the second half. The ball dropping down. Falling away from the Kyle players, going towards the midfielder, going towards the half forward, and the man getting it will be Tony Fitzpatrick. Kyle coming more into the game, but not getting the scores. This one's dropping in. Well, got out by the back by Frank Cahill. Frank trying to kick it out along the ground. Got out by Brennan towards Christy Wallace. Wallace with the ball, loses the ball, half blocked down, it'll fall back to centre back Aidan Delaney. Delaney with the ball, driving it in long and hard towards the full forward line, but not great force up there on the Kyle forward line, but they have it this time, the centre forward. The man getting it is Noel Marr. Marr trying to work his way in, but that one goes away to the left and goes harmlessly wide once again for another wide, adding up for the Kyle men here in Portlaoise in the junior final. The subs haven't gone on to the team yet here in Portlaoise. Two of them warming up just down under us. Two subs, I see a substitute. Is it Pat Hennessy? It looks like Pat Hennessy that's going into the Kyle team. Pat Hennessy's gone into the Kyle team where he'll play, probably around the forwards. They need driving force up there. The forwards missing a lot of chances. Who's going to go off the Kyle team, I just wonder. It looks like centre. Is it centre forward? Well, there's switches all over the place. No one has come off the Kyle team yet. I'm just wondering now what player has gone off. So the ball back with play. We'll tell you about the switches in a moment, but Pat Hennessy's in the game for Kyle. Kyle haven't scored in this second half of this junior hurling final, and that's Christy Wallace, third centre back. Not a great clear towards the number 7. Some very poor striking here from the Kyle back line. That's steered out towards Fitzpatrick. He get it up. He's looking towards the goals. He's turning. He's been well covered in the second half. This might be cleared out. It is cleared out by Michael Quinlan. This is up the centre forward, Noel Marr. Noel steering it across on the far side of the field towards Pat Hennessy. Can Hennessy get it? He'll make his way in, still Pat Hennessy, but he has held on too long, says referee Jerry Gahan. He has held on too long. Held on, well it wasn't, I thought it was Pat Hennessy, it was Dan Gilmartin that got that when he held on too long. It was a good pass from this side of the field, all right, from Noel Marr, but Dan held on too long and a free out, dropping down. Christy Wallace looks like getting this one. This could be a point for Christy Wallace, dipping into Pat O'Neill. Pat mightn't get it very near, kept kicked out along the ground. And Kyle now come away with this again. A lot of pressure on the Kyle back line. That's a good clearance from the centre back, Aidan Delaney, on the far side of the field. Dropping down, ball half blocked down. Kyle haven't scored in the second half, or don't look like scoring. The man getting it is Thomas Gilfoyle, the midfielder, sending it up for the corner forward. Looks like deemed a push, but not his referee. Play on. This is dipping in. Can Hennessy put it in the net? Pat Hennessy, that's only in the game minutes. Pat deemed he was held off the ball, but it might have been in the back of the net, and what a super sub Pat would have been if he had to get that one into the net. He's only in the game of 2 minutes, and still it's Ronan being pushed and hooshed and gets the free. So what a score that would have been for Pat Hennessy. If Pat had to put that in the back of the net, there'd have been only a single point between them. So has Kyle left all their super subs in the last few minutes. Hennessy almost getting a goal, and that's gone over the bar from Ronan Ryan, so there's only one puck of a ball between them. But we have only a score apiece. A point from James Fitzpatrick from Ballypickas in the second half, and that's the first score. A point by Ronan Ryan, and we have almost 25 minutes of play gone, but there is stoppage time in this junior final. How much? We'll have to wait and see. Pat O'Neill's first ball dropping in. Can Pat get it? He's a man that would get a goal. He scoops it across. Two Ballypickas players waiting for it. They're trying to pick it up. Kyle will kick it out along the ground. It'll fall to Fitzpatrick. He doesn't get his stroke in. It's gone in. The goalkeeper, it passed the corner back. So the referee, well, it looked like a fair shoulder, but not says referee Ger Gahan. This will be a free for Christy Wallace, and this could be an insurance point for Ballypickas. It looked like a fair shoulder, not says referee, so it'll be a free in front of the goal. We're in the last 5 minutes of normal time. Christy Wallace with the free. 1 goal and 5 to 5 points. A low-scoring Laois junior final. 1 goal between them. Christy Wallace, surely a point on here for Ballypickas. Christy, with all the years in the world, taps it over. That's surely an insurance point, and the crowd applauds Christy Wallace as he trots out from the goals. A goal and 6 to 5. 4 between them. We're in the last 4 minutes of the game, but remember, they'll be added on time in the second half. Ballypickas scoring 2 points in the second half. Kyle scoring their only point just moments ago. Kyle in the attack. The man with the ball, Dan Gilmartin. Dan deemed to have ran too far with that one, and it's a free out for Ballypickas. Dan not too happy with that, but the referee not too far away, and the man to take the free will be Paul Brennan. The second sub going in. I see a second sub going into the team here for Kyle. Kyle making another substitute. It looks like Roy Lockman's in the game for Kyle. Their second substitute, who was gone off, I'll tell you about it in a moment. The ball dropping down. Kyle under a lot of pressure, a chance of a score on here. It's Brennan in front of the goal. He's been hooshed and harassed, but he might get the score. He gets it in. It's kept and gone out for a 45 or a 65 metre puck. The man gone off his midfielder. Ger England's gone off the Kyle team. Ger England gone off the Kyle team, and also went off the team, of course, was Pat Gilmartin, the corner forward. He was replaced by Pat Hennessy a moment ago. Christy Wallace, this would be a wonder point for Christy. He put them 5 points ahead if he could put this one over. He hasn't scored a 65. He's drying the ball. He's going to make sure that everything will be right for this 65. It could be one of the most important pucks of Christy's hurling career here at Portlaoise. A massive puck from Christy Wallace, and it's gone over. Christy made no mistake. His first score from 65, Christy Wallace. The stylish half forward putting that one over. Christy with a smile on his face coming away as the white flag goes up 1-7-5. So it looks like no way back for Kyle. A team that a lot expected a lot from this Kyle team, but Christy Wallace causing a lot of trouble here. Ran into a hard tackle. Referee says play on. And there's a substitute in the Ballypickas team. He just came onto the team. The man grabbing the ball there will be Michael McAvoy. Christy Wallace still lying stretched on the ground. Michael McAvoy. Christy still being stretched. Referee still saying play on. He's telling Christy Wallace to get up. Pat O'Neill sending in the cross towards the number 15, but that'll go to the right and wide. That was Tony O'Dea. It wasn't Tony, I thought, but the play is going on, but I don't think the referee knows that play is going on. I said that was Tony O'Dea. It wasn't. It's a sub that was in the Ballypickas team, and that was Pat Dooley. That was Pat Dooley, number 17. Of course, Tony O'Dea was replaced by Pat O'Neill for the start of the second half. So Christy Wallace ran into a very, very hard tackle. Christy's lying stretched on the ground. Referee having a look at him along with more of the Ballypickas players, but Christy Wallace, the sportsman he is, if he's able to get up at all, Christy will continue. Christy now seems to be winded more than anything else. He's been in Minters in there, Tom Cahill in there having a look, and Tom, a man that has been involved with Ballypickas hurling for a lifetime, of course, his son Frank playing at cornerback, and they'd love to win this junior final today. A great hurling club up there in County Laois. And Christy Wallace, Christy's trotting back into his position, and everything's right for the game to commence again. The long puck out. Kyle, is there a comeback in the Kyle side? Only got a point in the second half, but not, says the Ballypickas men. Michael Keogh, the midfielder. Referee Ger Gahan says he was fouled and he'll get the free, but very, very little time. We're just ticking over to 30 minutes now of normal time here in the second half. This will probably be a throw-in. The Ballypickas player just jostled into the Kyle player, so for the centre ball will be thrown in on the far side of the field, and I see the 2 Kyle subs out there. Hennessy, but the man getting it will be centre forward, dropping up on the far side of the field. But coming away with the ball will be Jim G. Jim trying to steer it out, doesn't get it out very far, but gets it going out on the far side of the field, and Christy Wallace. Christy's there again, receives a hard knock. The ball knocked away from him. Kyle desperately in need of a score. The ball well blocked down there, and the referee says hard pulling, this will be a free. A lot of hard pulling in there, and a pity if this game got out of hand, because it was a very sporting, a very clean junior hurling county final. What a pity now in the last few minutes if this game was to deteriorate into hard and wild pulling, but not, says Jerry Gahan. He's in there in the middle of them, and Jerry has the game under control. Another throw in just out, almost in middle of the field, a bit in the Ballypickas half of the field of Anton, and Christy Wallace will be in for this throw. Hard pulling by Christy. Kyle get the break and get it up the field. Kyle need 2 goals to win it. They need a goal and 2 points to draw level, but not, says Michael Keogh. This final is ours. A very, very late tackle in one of the Ballypickas players, and the referee was right beside it. He's given the free from where the ball lands. As I said, a pity now at the end of a very sporting Laois junior hurling final. The last minute of that now, a lot of hard and off the ball incidents there from pulling there, and that was a late pull in one of the Ballypickas players. It looks like the half back from here. It looks like Brendan Keogh. It's away on the far side of the field. The sun has disappeared here in Portlaoise for a long time, and it looks like the rain just beginning to come down. Not very far away from the full time whistle, and Christy Wallace He scored from almost the same position about 3 minutes ago, a 65-metre free. This is a free. 65 metres out. Christie's placing the ball. He's looking towards the goals. Pat O'Neill's on the fringe of the square. Christy Wallace is bending. He's lifting and striking, and Christy dropping in, but he's not gone anywhere. It's well blocked down. Kyle come away with it. The ball half blocked down, got by the corner back, by the centre back, and that's Aidan Delaney. He played his heart out for Kyle this evening, up on this side of the field. But I said a lot of missed chances by the Kyle men, and Ballypickas taking their chances, every opportunity that came their way. Kyle trying to get it out, Ballypickas trying to get it in, the corner back. Jim Quinlan pulled on, got in towards the forward line. The man getting it up there is another sub in the Ballypickas team. That's the goalkeeper for Kyle coming out on the far side of the field. A great clearance to the goalkeeper, but it's Christy Wallace. Christy's up in his own half-back line, driving it deep in towards the 21-metre line, hands reaching high for it. The man getting it will be Fitzpatrick, the star of Ballypickas. Been well watched in the second half, but did a lot of damage for against Kyle in the first half. The ball half blocked down, scooped up on this side of the field. Kyle man getting the ball, but that'll go out over the line, but the linesman says it's off of a Ballypickas player and it's going to be a line ball for Kyle. Their last chance of a score, but remember, time's almost up. We have 34 minutes gone in the second half. What time referee Jerry Gahan will add on? Well, it's up to Jerry's discretion, but I'd say there's not a lot more time left in the junior final. That's a good cut in from the half-back Eamon Scully, dropping it in. Scully goes to centre forward Noel Marr. Marr towards Hennessy. Hennessy's in front of the goals. It's gone out and gone wide. But a good try from Hennessy, but it went out and went to the left and went wide, and I'd say we could see the full-time whistle blowing here in O'Moore Park. Another Ballypickas player calling for attention. He's on the ground. It looks like it's like Christy Wallace from here that's gone down again, the number 10. He's lying on the ground, but from here it looks like Christy Wallace, and that's the man, Christy Wallace, getting a lot of hard knocks. He got a knock on the wrist that time. Christy receiving a lot of knocks, but I know if the Junior Cup goes to Ballypickas tonight, Christy won't mind the knocks or bruises. A great wholehearted hurler played his part today in this win for Ballypickas if they win this junior title. He's trotting up towards the far side of the field, doesn't seem to be too happy with himself. But I'd say very little time, it's all over in Portlaoise, and Ballypickas are the Laois Junior Hurling champions, a golden 7 to 5 points in a game that was played in a highly sporting spirit from both sides. But remember, Kyle only scored one single point in the second half. Their forward shooting was very inaccurate. Ballypickas accurate when they got round goals, and I'd say James Fitzpatrick will surely be the star of Ballypickas tonight. The young corner forward scored a goal and 3 to my knowledge, and of course Christy Wallace was everywhere for the Ballypickas men. Well, Ballypickas are junior champions. Last year, bitterly disappointed losing out to Portlaoise in replays. This year have made amends for that, and a wholehearted Kyle team that gave it everything, but a lot of mishitting, poor shooting caused them to lose this junior final. But a game that was played in great spirit, and there's Pat O'Neill. Pat, the wholehearted hurler that came on, had a great game for Ballypickas last year. Pat over on the far side of the field. Not much ball came Pat's way, but Pat's happy. A junior hurling medal, of course, with Ballypickas. A great hurling area up there, and of course the great names of the Wallaces and the Cahills, the Kyoes and the Carters, and the Fitzpatricks, of course, and Martin Murphy and the O'Dees. It'll surely be a great night up there in Ballypickas tonight. So Ballypickas now just going over to receive the Junior A Hurling Trophy. So him Rory, the Returi, obviously Hippie Gulgalair, Parent Forgia on Cree. Fortunately,
na gár Cabana, Kyle agus Ballypickas, agus an féin agus sa go nú class scale Krishna go Delisha, but what not witness to go on, so winter Kyle agus winter Ballypickas duration, clear brass 4-2 we went on Toronto shot. It is indeed my great privilege as chairman of this county board to first of all sincerely compliment Kyle and Ballypickas on reaching the Junior Hurling Championship final of 1994. I'd like to pay compliments to both teams, their managers and selectors for two very, very well prepared teams, and indeed the two teams themselves for a fine sporting junior championship title that is served up here this evening. Happiest congratulations to Ballypickas on winning the junior championship title for 1994. We talked coming towards the end that we were going to have another junior marathon like last year, but I take the opportunity to wish Ballypickas the very best of luck in the intermediate championship title next year. Let me also pay compliments to Kyle. My sincere commiseration to you first of all. Last year you won the junior hurling championship title. This year you contested the junior A title, and I hope that this year's appearance will be the first of many, and please God we'll see you back here again in the very, very near future. I'd also like to pay compliments to Mr. Jerry Gotham, the referee, and the team of officials for a job well done. Agus initially going to that Táin Ábharsán an chun ahar ó féileán seochrána dá captain for Ballypickas Seamus Muckle and Maverick Cogartigas a Hamish. Before I hand over to speak my sincere apology, I would like to take the opportunity, please, at this point in time, and I would ask you, please, to show your appreciation to O'Brien Fashions Menswear of Portlaoise for sponsoring this year's Junior Hurling Championship title.
Thanks, Tom. First two lines there, I didn't understand the word he said. The last two I did. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, it's me great honour to accept this cup on behalf of the Ballypickas team, the lads behind me, the lads on the field and the supporters all around here. For the supporters we're doing this. Last year we brought you the coach and we drew against Portlaoise and we brought you back. We drew at normal time and we drew after extra time. And we brought you back again and we lost. We got to work on a call here today and leave this cup behind us this year, and I tell you that. My sincere sympathy to Kyle, I know they won the Junior B last year. They're really after doing well, coming up to Junior B, up to Junior A. And I was delighted to be playing Kyle there today. A strong team, one team coming from Junior B straight up into the Junior A final. And we're going up intermediate now, and I'm sure that they'll be following our footsteps this time next year. A few people I want to thank. First of all, Murphy, take a look at yourself there. First of all, PJ Lawler. Our second selector, Aidan Barry. Aidan is also Doug's chairman. And our third selector, Sean Whelan. Also, a very big thank you must go to our trainer, John Cleary. Our club secretary, who does an enormous amount of work throughout the year, Billy Gorman. And also, our treasurer, Mick Carter. And two other people who are not on the committee, well, they were on the committee, but not on the head committee. And one very important man, Tom Cass. Also, one of the most important men in the club, Tony Carter. Tony, I'd say you're looking at every bit of timber there as well, Floor. That's Tony Carter's job, making her. Next, I'm coming near the end thank now Leonard Ballypickas for sponsoring a new set of jerseys. I think they're lovely. Definitely deserve a round of applause. Probably have a private word to you in a few minutes. I don't know if anyone else, if I'm leaving out anyone, I'd sincerely like to thank them. I think I mentioned the supporters there. Maybe we could give them a big round of applause. We have the league final yet to come. With that, if I'm leaving out anyone, I don't mean to. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that was involved. And I want to 3 cheers for Kyle. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! We'll go see about filling this cup now. Please.
So the or the Ballypickas team just after receiving the Laois Junior A Cup now, and they're moving towards the dressing room. So out on the field, very little more happening here. So stay with us because we'll be just travelling over there to the Ballypickas dressing room in just a few moments, and we'll have interviews with some of the players and officials. In Ballypickas dressing room, and I have with me the chairman of the club, Aidan Barry. All right, Aidan?
That's right, yeah.
A good win.
A great win, there's no doubt about it. But it's long overdue. You know, they've been hurling well for the last few years, and we were lucky last year to get beaten. But they put a lot into it this year, and they got nothing more than they deserved.
Well, Aidan, it was a very low-scoring game, but from the time you got the goal, it looked like you were going to win it because Kyle had very poor shooting.
That's right, but I mean, don't forget Kyle's had to come in from behind, and every match they won they came from behind, and we knew that. And you know, the backs were told to stay tight in the second half, and they did. Fair dues to them, like to win a final and score 1-7. I mean, you can't compliment a backline any more than that.
I suppose conditions like a lot of rain last night, and that left conditions pouring up for really good hurling.
Well, it did, and then a lot of our forwards are small, and it went better like on a dry sod.
Well, Aidan, of course, you come a great traditional hurling area up there, Ballypickas, and of course it was very hard looking last year. It was a great saga with Portlaoise, and finally you had to bow out to them in the final in that extra time. It was something that you'd like to win this year, and you have done it.
Well, it was, and like we put a bit more into it this year than we did last year, and it paid off. And I suppose we are trying to keep a hurling club going. You said in a hurling area is predominantly football area. We're surrounded by Spink on one side and Ballyroan on the other, and as you know, we have nearly all of our players are playing either football with Ballyroan or Spink.
Well, Aidan, there'll be a lot of celebrations I know around Ballypickas tonight after this win.
There got to be a fire in the Cobbler's Hill anyway, for start.
Okay, Aidan, thanks for taking time off to talk to us.
Thanks very much.
I have with me now the secretary of the club, Billy Gorman. Is that right, Billy?
That's right.
Billy, happy evening for Ballypickas.
Very happy evening for Ballypickas. And first of all, I would like, as secretary of the club, to thank all the players for the cooperation which they gave during the whole year. It's been a long year since we were beaten in the final last year, and to come back this year and the commitment that the players gave, all down through the year, and not alone the 15 lads that lined out there today and the 3 subs, but the whole panel of players.
But I think, Billy, you were bitterly disappointed, of course, after last year, because maybe on a couple of occasions you could have won that final last year, and it must have took a lot of momentum to come back in and get to the top again this year.
That's right. Like a couple of times last year we had the final probably won, but we let it slip. But like, fair play to the lads, they gave the commitment this year at the AGM that it wasn't going to happen again, that we were going to, not alone were we going to win the championship, we were going to win the double. And we're still there. We're in the league final as well in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, Billy, of course, it looked like it was going to be close all along, and that's the way it was. It was a low-scoring game, and I suppose the goal early in the first half was really the turning point, and I think James Fitzpatrick knocked it in. He had a great evening corner forward.
James came good today. He has been, well, he has showed in different form the whole year, but he was always a needle in any team's defence, but today he really came good on the right day. But don't forget that we have heard, that's the third time we played Kyle this year. We've had him twice in the league. And up in Kyle, we only beat him by 4 points in the first round of the league. and both of us got to the semi-final of the league, and we only beat him by 2 points, and the game was level with 4 minutes to play. So we were expecting another dour, close game today, and that's what we got.
Well, I suppose overall, Billy, you have the cup won in here, but it was a very sporting and a good junior hurling final in Laois.
Very good junior hurling final. I suppose spectators would like to see a few more scores, but sure, I mean, that's the way it is. Conditions weren't great, and we're delighted we won it anyway.
Okay, Billy, the very best of luck, and thanks for taking time off to talk to us. Thank you. I have with me Tom Cahill, that has been associated with Ballypickas hurling for a lifetime. Tom, a great name up there on Ballypickas, and this was a great win for you.
It was a great win, powerful win. After last year's defeat, we thought we'd never come back. We thought we were gone for good. And the club took a fierce dislike to the hurling and the field and everything. Still, they came back this year, regrouped, and got determined at the annual general meeting, and they said they were going to make it this year, no matter what had happened. And that's the way it turned out. We were down and out against going over to Mountrat to play Mountrat in the first round, and we had no training done, no nothing done, and we had 27 players in the field in Raheen to play Mountrat. Millie to play Mountrat, and that was the start of it. And from there on, we never trained any night this year without 30 players in the field. And fair play to them, congratulations to them, fair play to them. If every team had put in the same, win.
Well, Tom, as I said to your chairman and secretary, it was a close, hard, but a very sporting game.
It was a close, hard game, all right. We played Kyle in the semi-final of the league. We were leading them 6 points in about 10 minutes to go, and they came back at us and drew level. They ran us off our feet. They were faster than us, and they had some excellent players. Fortunately, the selectors today picked out those players and they put certain men in to do certain jobs, and they done it.
A low-scoring game, and of course in a low-scoring game a goal probably would win a game for any team, and you got the goal at the right time, and I think James Fitzpatrick was really a thorn in Kyle's full back line. He was everywhere.
Yeah, James had a great game. He had a marvellous game, and James is capable of producing great stuff. He's a fierce, lively forward, no matter where you put him, and if he gets the ball, he gets through with it. And if you get enough balls to James, he had a great game. But there was a lot more there played very well today too. John Day, I thought, at centre back, I think he had a game of his life, as he had in Raheen in 3 games last year, but today he excelled out of all proportion. Great game. The rest of them all were the very same. The whole back line conceded nothing. They conceded nothing. They kept everything belted back that was shoving to them.
And of course Christy Wallace, a great warrior and a great hurler. Christy put over a great pint from a line ball. That was a tremendous score.
That was a great score, yeah. Christy is a great free taker, great man on frees, great delivery, and a great-hearted player down through the years. Christy is with us a long time now, as all the Wallaces are. Great family for the GAA. Without the Wallaces, Ballypickas wouldn't be there. That's going back to my time when I started, would have been 54.
And of course I saw you bringing in Pat O'Neill. Pat done wonders last year, almost scooped the final for you, but nothing really went into him today. But you had all the work done again. Pat came on the scene there.
No, Pat got nothing to do with that. There did nothing come in that he could be faulted for, or that you could say he missed. He got no ball. The ball didn't happen to run for him at a particular time.
Okay, Tom, thanks very much for talking to us, and the best of luck with Ballypickas in the future.
Thanks ever so much.
Thank you. So I have with me now the captain of the Ballypickas team, and that's of course goal getter and I suppose the star of the afternoon, James Fitzpatrick. James, you had a great game.
I think it was a team effort. I started off fairly well and got a few early scores, probably showed in the end, but after that I think it went down with 15 hurlers and 2 subs come on or 3 subs come on. It was definitely a team effort, and, as it was all year long.
It was very close for a long period there, the first half, and then you got the break for the goal. Could you tell us how that came about?
Well, I remember Martin went up for a ball and I just said to myself that it was probably going to break. And if it broke down in front of Martin, I was ready, I was prepared to run with it and run at the goalie, and which I did, and lucky enough it went in.
So I think you got about 1-3 overall, would that be right?
Something like that, I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure I'll hear later on.
But overall it was a very hard fought game, very close and very competitive all along, and there was very little between you for most of the game.
Yeah, very very hard fought game. We knew it was going to be like that with Kyle all along. I saw Kyle in the semi-final against Shanahaw, in which they made a very good comeback. And Kyle are a good team, they're a good junior A team, and Kyle will be there next year, and hopefully they'll be in the shake-up again next year, and we'll be up intermediate, and we'll do our best up there.
Of course last year was very disappointing, losing to Portlaoise in that replay.
It was, after such a marathon and Portlaoise coming out on top. So late on in the year, we were training all year. It was a very big disappointment, and we put our minds down to it this year, and thank God it came off.
Well, of course, James, you were in around the corner far around the edge of the square. Of course, you had a great man out in front of you there, Andy Carter and Christy Wallace. The two of them played very well.
That's right, they did, yeah. Well, we had a number of stars on the day. Christy, I suppose the freeze didn't go well, but from play, Christy done his stuff as he always does. And Sod and John Day on the half back line, and everybody. It's just a team effort, and I'm glad I came off for the team. We're after working hard and for the selectors and trainer and everybody in the club, supporters included.
Well, James, all that's left for us to do now is congratulate you and wish you the very best of luck in your hurling career in the future. I know that cup will be filled a few times up around Ballypickas tonight.
Probably well and emptied as well, I'd say.
Okay, James, thanks very much for taking time off to talk to us.
Man, thanks very much.
Thank you. So that about wraps it up here from O'Moore Park, Portlaoise. Ballypickas winning the 1994 Laois Junior Hurling Final on a scoreline of 1 goal and 7 points to 5 points. It's Slán Gwaib Golair.